Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Teacher Let Your Light Shine. If you are new to us, we welcome you. If you have been with us, thank you so much for coming back and just diving into what it really could be like to have your own business, to be a teacher entrepreneur, also known as a teacherpreneur. And in today's episode, I'm really excited to share 3 great pieces of advice to really help you get unstuck and to get you into momentum, no matter where you are in this journey. If you are still reporting to school every day, but you are dreaming of having your own school, or if you've already taken the leap and you've already started preparing to build your school, to build your learning pod, to build your micro school, your preschool, your tutoring business, congratulations. But I know along the way, you're going to get to a crossroad and you're going to say, what do I do now? I know exactly how that feels. And I'm just here to pour life into you and to tell you that you are going to make it. You can do this. You just need the right tools and the right people, and you need someone to really speak and breathe life into you and inspiration into you. I've walked the road. I've walked the road alone. I've walked the road hand in hand with people. I'm still walking this road, and I'm so grateful for the path that God has put me on to get me to where we are going. And I am just so grateful to be behind this microphone and sharing my experience with you, knowing that you want to change, knowing that you want something different, and you've got the teaching part down, but the business part, the entrepreneur part, the stepping out, the boldness, the courage that it takes, you need someone there with you. I know what that's like. I'm so grateful, again, to be sharing this with you. In today's episode, 3 great pieces of tangible advice to get you unstuck, to get you into momentum, and allow you to be pushed out and forced into this forward motion. You are ready, you're searching for clarity, you've got this lifestyle pursuit, and you need to get clear. So these are 3 things that I want you to really work on so you can reach that teacher dream of yours. Let's get into it. Welcome, teacher, to the Let Your Light Shine podcast. If you're searching for the freedom and permission to design the life you love as a teacher, you're in the right place. I'm on a mission to help teachers just like you build their own dream school or homeschooling business. In this present day, the world needs you, teacher friend, to step out in faith and give students an education they love and so deserve. In this podcast, I will teach you how to start a fulfilling and profitable homeschooling business that lights you up. I'm Makenzie Oliver, former elementary teacher and instructional coach, gone homeschool teacher and business builder. I'm here to empower you to step outside the classroom and choose the experiences, the curriculum, and all the moments that put a smile on your face and your students. Does it seem like a dream? Well, it did to me, until God opened the doors and made it reality. Together, we are breaking through fears and moving the crowd. So get out your notebook, sharpen your pencil. It's time to get your teach on. I remember about 5 years ago, there was a really wonderful professional development that I had gone through. I had actually gone through a coaching program where I was learning to be an instructional coach. And through this leadership program, I went through a personality test about leadership. And if you've never done this before, I highly recommend it. I'm not for sure of the specific test, or the specific analyzation that we went through, but I will say that it really allowed me to understand who I was as a person. And what was brought to my attention is that I am a visionary leader. And you may be sitting there with this awesome idea, but you just don't know how to see it through. That's majority of the people that listen to this show, is that you've got an idea, you have a vision, you have a dream, you have this idea that's just feels so far out of reach. You're like caught in the weeds right now, possibly. Or maybe you've been caught in the weeds the past 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years in your career, doing what you needed to do, enjoying your time in teaching, but you're still caught in the weeds. You're like, I like it, but I can't really see, and I'm constantly like moving grass out of the way and swatting here and swatting there, getting frustrated. But I know that there's something else out there. I just keep walking through the weeds. And then you get out of the weeds a little bit and you have this vision, these little thoughts that keep coming to you, but it still feels impossible. So you've kind of walked through the weeds and you're standing in this open field of, you've like muddled through, and you know that there's something that's so within reach, but you don't know how close you are to it. So you're standing in this land of what seems to be impossible. And you stand there and you think, gosh, could I have a school? Could I do a preschool? Could I do something out of my house? Could I homeschool my kids and teach other kids? Or could I start a school just out of my home? Could I do 10 to 15 kids? Could I do 5 kids? Could I still make and replace my income? Could I start a tutoring business and maybe hire more people? Could I start a preschool and run it for a couple years, hire more people, grow bigger? Or maybe you don't even want to go that route. Maybe you're just feeling as if I've made it through the weeds. I've got a little bit more clarity over what I want my life to truly look like. And here I am, but it feels impossible. And then you look out a little bit more and you see this other piece of land, but you have no idea what's over there. And you say, okay, maybe if I take a few steps closer, I will be able to get into this land here. I'm going to leave the land of impossible and I'm going to really think of some possibilities. And so you keep working through and, oh my gosh, you've went to this other piece of land that feels like the field of dreams. And oh my gosh, I've found someone who does what I want to do, or a version of it. Or gosh, there's so many more possibilities. I think about what education has done in the past 20 years. It's completely evolved. There's jobs now that have never been even on the radar of people's minds 5 years ago. There's just constant job market opportunities. Gosh, and I see so many different possibilities and different versions of what I want to do. So you've entered into this field of dreams, but you still need to cross over, right? You've still got to go over this bridge into the land of inevitable. Like, it's really going to happen. Like, it's absolutely going to happen. So you've walked through the weeds. You went to this land of impossible. Now you're in the possible land. You just kept working it through. You're in the possible land. You're in the field of dreams. And you know that there's it's inevitable. I know that this can happen. I think it can happen. I see other people doing it. I want to do it. But how do I get there? And so today we've got to talk about crossing over that bridge, the bridge of action, like somewhere over the rainbow, the bridge, the rainbow, whatever it is. It's the action. And really thinking about the challenge that you are trying to fill in the gap for. When you feel lonely, when you feel as if, okay, how do I get over that bridge? Because there's no one coming back over the bridge to save me. I've got to walk over it. I know that there's people on the other side of that bridge. I've got to walk over there to get to them, but I'm scared and I feel lonely, but I know it can happen. But I also know that I have to do the work, and I don't know really where to go to turn through that. And I just want you to know that it's okay if you have to struggle through this. The struggle is real sometimes, because you know why? You're the one who has the vision. It may be clear to you, but it may not be clear to everybody, and it may really not even be clear to you just yet. It might still be messy, and you're still, what Brene Brown says, you're rumbling through. You just got to keep rumbling through. You're got to keep walking through the weeds. And even in the land of impossible, in the land of possible, you're still going to have some weeds that you got to walk through. But it's okay, because it's going to be messy, but it's messy for all of us. Read books about people who started businesses. Now, I'm going to get into 3 action steps here, But I want to just jog your mind for a minute. The reason why I know this is because I listen to podcasts all the time. I'm reading books all the time. I've hired people to help me for the past 3 years. 4 years, actually, I've hired people to help me. So please understand that you are not alone, that there are so many people who have walked your walk, who have built businesses out of their garage, who have built businesses on a whim, on an idea, and it caught fire. But they made themselves get into action. And that's what we're going to talk about today is action. So there's 3 action steps that you are going to need to take that are very tangible and tactical. And number 1 is you have to start. The number 1 actually has 2 steps, A and B. Actually, A, B, C. So if you were to have a piece of paper, which this is a very tangible step that I highly recommend you do because I did this and I still work through it. I make a 3-column chart. If you're a teacher, you know, KWL chart. Only this chart is going to help you through brainstorming and researching. So A is brainstorming, B is researching, and C are your answers. So if you look at researching, or brainstorming, that's your ideas. That's like what you know. This is like your vision. So if you have a 3-column chart, like a KWL chart, your know is really your ideas. I know I want this. I know I want this amount of money. I know I want to work this amount of time. I know I want to use my skills in this way. Brainstorm your ideas in column A. That's your brainstorm, column A. Column B are the questions that you're going to have. And this is an ongoing chart, by the way. This isn't a 1-pager. This might be a 1-page Google Doc to begin with, but then it turns into a 15-pager. So now you've got your brainstorming done in column A. Column B is your researching. It's your questions that you have. Okay, I want to know, what about my taxes? What about my insurance? What about the legalities? What about my offer? Who am I targeting? When can I start? What does this actually look like? Can I find people to help me? Should I set my business up in this way? What happens if I don't get as many students? What can I do in the meantime? Could I start a tutoring business and then move into a micro school? So all of your questions go in that center column. But it's very important that you don't just get stuck on the questions part in the middle. You really need to spend time in that first column brainstorming your ideas, brainstorming your vision, what you want it to look like without any fear of, but what if it doesn't happen? Because I know what that feels like as well. I know what it feels like to be stuck in column A because you are afraid that I might be dreaming too much. And what if it doesn't really happen? Just do it. I'm so grateful for the risk and the time that I took to fill out column A, my brainstorming. Column B is your researching, because you know that there are questions that you are going to have to begin researching, calling people, Googling. That is your column B. And then your column C is your answers to those questions, or your clarity part to what you've been brainstorming and what you've been researching. So your very first thing is to open up a Google Doc, and it doesn't have to be beautiful. Get a sheet of notebook paper, get a binder, get a notebook, and make it messy. You're okay to make it messy. I was a hot mess express, a million pieces of paper everywhere for the very first 6 months of doing this, but I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's like you get a new planner and you don't know where to start and you don't know, what color ink pens to use. No, just start. Promise me you'll just start. Promise yourself you'll just start. And it starts with going to get a piece of paper, going to get a pen, drawing 3 lines down your paper, 2 lines down your paper and 1 at the top, and sectioning it off into 3 sections. This is my idea. In the middle, this is what I need to know. This is what I have to research. And on the side, your questions that have been answered, or more clarity that you're gaining, or more knowledge that you're gaining. That's step 1. Step 2. Okay, this is very, very good. And I need you to really listen to this to help you get into the most momentum. Okay, are you ready? And this is not a Makenzie Oliver suggestion. This is time after time after time of working with people and listening to people. This is what they're going to tell you. When you set a goal of, I really have this dream and I really want to make this happen, you need a fundamental framework. It must be very tactical and tangible so that you can get into momentum. You can set and brainstorm all you want and come up with a million questions that could potentially get you stuck. But if you don't find the answers and don't start moving through finding those answers in the clarity part of that third part column, you're going to stay there. That first part is to jumpstart you. This second part, like you've just got on the plane with step 1, okay? You know where you want to go. You know what flight you're going to get on. You might still have some questions, but you've at least planned your trip a little bit. That's step 1. Step 2, you literally need to get off the runway. And step 2 would require you in this particular moment to head on over and get your business bundle. And if you already got your business bundle, go back to that business bundle and keep refining and editing it and looking at, okay, my introductory packet, does it still capture my vision? Do I still want my school to be set up like this? Because the business bundle, the introductory packet, is really your biggest indicator for marketing, your biggest indicator for your messaging, your biggest go-to for everything in the position of starting your business and positioning yourself. Whether you take that introductory packet and start off with 1 page or 2 pages or 3 pages, all the way up, I've got 7 pages for you. That's where you start. Guys, money talks. I just heard this the other day. Money talks. When you put your money to work, you will work. So if you take the initiative to go, and there's nothing out on the market right now like the business bundle to help you get your business started. There's nothing like it. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just being honest with you. I knew that this is what I needed to start my business. And so I fumbled through this for 3 years straight until I made it to where I feel super proud of it. It's perfect for me, my business, and to helping other people get their ideas out and start marketing to families. You've got your introductory packet. You've got your brochure. You've got your enrollment forms. You've got your handbook and contract. You've got your parent partnership letter. You've got your welcome letter. It's all right there. You don't need to work on it all at the same time, but at least if you have your introductory packet, it's like, okay, I have this idea. Now let me put it together in this introductory packet so it's a nice, beautiful package that I can actually start brain dumping in and getting all my thoughts out and then making it beautiful. And then it's going to inspire you to keep moving through. Then get your Facebook page, then get your enrollment form, then get your brochure, then get your flyer and all my website. It's going to make you feel like, oh my gosh, I've accomplished something because it's tactical. You are going to want to do something that is tactical, that's really going to be like, okay, I put my money behind this. I've invested in this because guess what? If you invest in yourself, you're not going to lose. And it's not just getting a document and just filling out a 1-pager here. Okay, it's the whole gamut of what is possible when you move through the business bundle. If you already have your business started, but you're not seeing the results that you want to see, you're not seeing consistency, you're not seeing conversion, you're still having difficulties with your marketing, I highly recommend that you go and snag your business bundle because it has all of the pieces for you. Now, of course, you've got to fill it out and of course you have to put it to good use, but you've got an incredible foundation and one in which you can see multiple people invested in this, knowing that it's evergreen, knowing that they can always change it, they can always make it better, but they have it for the rest of their business development to utilize. Each one of those people have moved on and have been able to progress in their business or enroll students, start their business, grow it. So I highly recommend that you do something that's very tactical. Maybe you need to start your website. Maybe you need to start your Facebook page. All of that comes after you've gotten more clarity, and I highly suggest you start with the business bundle. Number 3, this is good. You've got this goal. You've got something that you've started working on that's very tangible, but now you need to actually make a goal. Because you can get the business bundle and go, oh my goodness, where do I actually start? You start one piece at a time with little bitty milestones. So you've got to give yourself grace and you've got to say, okay, I'm going to work on this in October. I'm going to work on this in November. I'm going to hire a mentor or a consultant or a coach in January. I'm going to find an advisor, someone who can help me and look at every single aspect. I'm going to find someone who can give me more information about my retirement, if that's something that's bothering you, or my taxes, or my financials. I'm going to find someone who can help me. And I'm going to make a goal every single month, a little milestone that I can check off and go, okay, great, I did it. I did it, yes. Many times I have people who start with a D-Day, a deadline day, an I'm done day. And they say, I'm going to be done with my current role by May 1st. And now I'm going to work backwards. What do I need to have done in place for that in April, in March, in February, in January, in December, in November, in October? And you go, oh my gosh, that's 7 milestones. That's 7 steps. What do I need to do each month in order to prepare for that? And then it becomes so much more real for you. Then you know, where do I start? When do I start? What pieces do I need to have accomplished each and every month? And it becomes so much more real and so much more doable and so much more manageable. Then when you have those pieces together, you say, okay, I can listen to podcasts throughout the next few months that are going to help me do XYZ. I know that I'm struggling. If you look back at your chart from step 1, you're brainstorming, you're researching, your answers chart, and you can say, okay, I see a common theme here. I'm worried about fill in the blank. You might need help with plugging into a group, finding people who've done what you've done. I highly suggest that you join our group, start your micro school or homeschooling business. Maybe you need to watch some YouTube videos, or you need to Google. So now you've started Googling and you've went nuts on your keyboard trying to find keywords and just trying to figure out all of the answers to your questions. You can go and you can email me. You can send me a message. You can post in our Facebook group. You just have to really be careful, however, this is a disclaimer, that you don't get sucked into a vortex of looking what everybody else is doing and it's getting you off your path. You've got to be very mindful about that. And you also have to be very mindful because there are some companies, I would say, that are out there that want you to adopt their model. And it looks like it's going to be easier for you and it looks like it's going to be done for you, but you're still going to have to adhere to their expectations, their model. So just be careful of that. If you want to start your own business, you don't have to adopt someone else's model. You can adopt your own model. When you purchase the business bundle, this isn't the Makenzie Oliver bundle where it's all of, to make your school just like mine. It is a foundation, like the most foundational piece of building your business. No matter if it's a tutoring business, a preschool, or a micro school. Even if you're doing a small learning pod, group tutoring, whatever it may be, you'll need these pieces. You have to be careful that you're not adopting someone else's model, paying them money to adopt their model, and then you got to do it their way when you have your own way. This is about you shining your teacher light, making it your own, because you have a gift and a talent that is so special and unique to you that lights you up that you know is going to be of great service to other people. So just be careful, because there are a few things popping up here and there that are big time commitments and big ticket prices. So I want you to be very careful, because I've found that myself, that there's okay, what's the promise here? And what is it going to do? Do I need to buy into what you are telling me that it needs to look like when you already have in your heart and your mind what you want it to look like? You just need the tools. So again, let me recap. Number 1, you need to make your 3-column chart here. A chart, your 3-column chart. In the first column is going to be A for brainstorming. Got your ideas, capturing your vision. B, you're researching what you have questions about that you need to find answers to. And C, your answers, or just any type of clarity or knowledge that comes your way. Step 2, you need to get tactical. You need to get tangible. You need to get into action. You need to put some type of money behind what you're doing, whether it's going ahead and registering for your LLC, whether it's making your Facebook page, whether it's getting the business bundle, whether it's getting a website, whether it's getting in contact with someone who can help you. You need to start getting very tactical and start moving in the direction of getting this done. And step 3, giving yourself milestones or targets. An easy way to do that is to say, this is when I want to be done by, and assigning yourself tasks each and every month. If that's something that feels overwhelming to you, I would say right now, what you could do is you could formulate your D-Day. And then if you've not gotten the business bundle, you snag your business bundle. And then you work it and say, this is the piece that's going to be done in October, November, December, January. And as you work through that, if that's all you say that you're going to do, every time you check something off that milestone, you're gaining more and more clarity, more and more answers are going to come to you, more confidence is going to come, and more opportunities will come your way. Trust me on this one. All right, everyone, I hope that this blessed you today. I look forward to hearing back from you. Join us in our Facebook group. And until then, keep shining your teacher light. Hey, teacher friend. Thanks so much for listening to today's show. I pray it inspired you, touched you, or challenged you in some way, because we are making big shifts and using our teaching gifts for God's glory like never before. I'm so grateful for you. The number one way you can support this show is to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts, and also share this with another teacher. Come join me in the Virtual Teachers Lounge, known as the Teacher Let Your Light Shine Facebook group. Until next time, keep shining your teacher light. The world needs you.